Top 6 coronavirus conspiracy theories. Bam! I just drilled you with a voiceover. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so I'm going to add some more pizzazz at some point as these episodes go on. I'm going to try to add more spice to these. Low tech, I'm doing everything on the phone, but you know what? I got an editor. I got the ability to do sound effects. I got audio stuff I can put in. I got voiceover I can put in. So it's only going to get cooler. You know, stick with me, subscribe. It's all going to be good. Share the videos. Anyway, top 6 coronavirus conspiracy theories. I wrote this back on March 20th. Today's the 25th. Things have gone bananas, berserk, wacko, wild, woolly, nuts, upside down. Each domino's like tipping over to the next domino. Like if you see like someone like make a bunch of dominoes, like about 1 million dominoes, like we're halfway through the tipping over of dominoes. Like there's still dominoes all over the place that are still like tipping over. They were just talking about New Orleans today, about being a hot south epicenter of the coronavirus in the United States. Anyway, I'm getting off track, but you know, they're starting to single out like major cities as being problems, and Houston possibly being another city that's next to New Orleans, our 4th biggest city, they said, that could be one of the dominoes that tips over, and now we have a 4th biggest city that's just getting all eaten up with this coronavirus. But anyway, that's not what this is about. This is about the conspiracy theories, and I'm going to try to get these out to you as quick as possible, not waste your time, not waste my time. So let's get down to it right here, right now. The first one we knew about from the outset. A lot of them were talking about the bats biting these pangolin anteater things with the scales and stuff. Now, I think I pulled up let's take a look. Pangolin. Here we go. The trending tab. We got a bat right there, and he's flying, and he's got like a little insect he's looking at. And they say horseshoe bats are known to carry coronaviruses, which can infect humans. Okay, cool. So now we're thinking, okay, most people, this had something to do with the HIV and the SARS and the Ebola and the measles, from an animal to jumping over to a human. And these viruses are becoming more and more prevalent. And now the whole world is blowing up with one of the viruses. They think this is one of the theories now. I'm not saying this is it, because I can't blame bat for everything, although they can trace stuff back to the bat. Anyway, so then they think bat ate this pangolin eater, and they call it a zoonotic. Let me see if I can. There, this word zoonotic. Do you see me highlight that? You see me highlight that. Zoonotic, meaning it goes from animal to human. Okay? And they said it's a two-way street. Animals can infect humans, and humans can infect animals right back. Okay, so they're also saying in here, and I want to get to the bottom really quick of this article. Look at that crazy looking bat, though. I mean, he is just wacky looking. He's ready to give you the virus right there. All right, so, okay. They think it's in bats, blah, blah, blah. They don't know. And there's the scaly pangolin scales that the Chinese in Hong Kong, which is a city that's in China, people think it's not, but it's actually attached into China. They want to be independent, but they're not. They're in China. Hong Kong, and they have these things, and they have just barrels of these things, like just like huge, like just, I mean, they go out and they must kill tons of these things, and they have their scales, and they think that they're great to have. In these scales could be coronavirus, and they're eating these things. Zoonotic diseases are on the rise. That's the one thing I want to talk about. Zoonotic diseases are on the rise. Okay, so we have to be very, very cautious of this sort of stuff where animals have viruses, and then this is the sort of stuff going on where it's these animals are being consumed out of these like street like markets in China. Okay, so that's one of the theories. Let's get out of that theory right there. That theory's done. We're done. We know that's a possibility. Bats biting pangolins, and then we just saw the pangolin scales Okay, so let's get to the next one. China population control. China population control. Do you think that China literally put this upon their own people to control their own population? Because they are the largest population in the world at 1.4 billion people. And they have, like, it says right here, they have a control policy of one-child policy, reducing the total fertility rates by 0.9 births per woman. That means they don't even have one human being per one woman. It's less than one human being per one woman. So when a girl is born, she doesn't even have, technically or mathematically, a kid. She has 0.9 kids that she is attributed to mathematically. That's how low they've got their now. Do you think that they've gotten fed up with the amount of people they have in their country, and now they unleashed a virus? Didn't know how disastrous it would become, but now it's all over the world. China's population control. That is a theory, I believe, that might have some credence in terms of, look, they don't care about their people as much as some other countries do, and they want to control the amount of mushrooming of people they have in that country. They don't want to get to 2 billion people. That would be disastrous. They're the size of the United States in terms of they're not much bigger than the United States land mass and how many square miles they are. They're not much bigger. You imagine having 2 billion people in the United States, or even a billion. We're at 350 million right now. They're at 1.4 billion. If I take 3 into 14, I get like 5 almost. So that means the United States is like 1/5 or 1/4 and a half population that China is. That's like 25%. We are 25% of what they are in terms of population. Okay? That's scary, because they're not much bigger than the United States in terms of square mileage. Okay? So that's another theory. Let's get on to the next theory. This one's gone. See you later. The U.S. military sent this coronavirus to China. Now, I've heard in the media recently that China's trying to spin the tale that the U.S. Army started the coronavirus epidemic. I read that, multiple sources. And what I think is going on here is I think China had it originated in their country, because they have a lot of these viruses originate there. And they're trying to twist the tables and turn the tables from almost a propaganda standpoint, and trying to get the United States to take the rap. And they're trying to push this new theory. It says, American disease introduced by members of the U.S. Army who visited Wuhan in October. It says there's not a shred of evidence to support that, but the notion received an official endorsement from China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, whose spokesman accused American officials of not coming clean about what they know about the disease. The intentional spreading of an unfounded conspiracy theory, which recirculated on China's tightly controlled internet on Friday, punctuated a downward spiral in relations between the two countries that has been fueled by the basic instincts of officials on both sides. So this is just wacky, man, crazy. They're trying to turn the tables on us, almost like a manipulative person. Like, okay, they're going to manipulate you, and then they come back and manipulate the hell out of you, and then they turn around and they start blaming you for stuff when they're the one doing all the aggressive stuff. So, not to say that China intentionally did this, but to say the United States sent them this in like a care package is a bit odd and a bit far-fetched. Okay, so let's get rid of that one. It's an interesting piece of food for thought, though, that China would say that. And honestly, it's hard to dispel any theories right now in this weird environment, because these are all sort of on the table, honestly. These are all on the table. We don't know what the U.S. did. We don't know if they did this to try to get back at China because of the war, the trade war between Trump and the China president. They've been going back and forth for years. Trump's this is his 4th year. He's been fighting with this trade stuff with China for 2 or 3 of the 4 years, easily. So there's some animosity, and there could be something to this, but I highly doubt it. All right, I don't think the United States would do something like that. All right, so 3, U.S. military sent to China. Aliens started to spread viruses, and the first of many to come to wipe out humanity. Now, you might think that this is the craziest theory of all of them, and it kind of is, because we don't have any even proof of aliens except for all the UFO sightings that are reported every year. They're everywhere, all over the world, that there's these UFOs all over. Is it plausible, or is it possible, that aliens actually are trying to take over the Earth, trying to take over the world, and that they're doing the domino themselves? They're going to start with one virus, and then they're going to do the next virus. We know coronavirus right now, March 25th, has just literally shut the entire world down. Do you think little aliens or aliens shot something into our atmosphere and just started spewing this virus out through whatever they shot into our atmosphere? You think that's possible? I'm telling you, these theories are all on the table still. There's nothing off the table. You cannot dispel almost anything. You cannot dispel it. So I'm going to take a look at the article on the trending tab. All right, so this is what I came up with, and I saw it. It says, alien UFO sprayed radioactive green chemicals over homes. This is like a mist or something. This could have been real. This could have been not real, but it's a vapor trail, it says underneath the photograph. UFO with green vapor trail as seen to MUFON. Okay. Do you think this is a little bit scary, but do you think that the possibility of UFOs spraying mist over an area, let's say maybe like China, with viruses, with the intent to take over Earth at some point, is a plausible possibility here? Do you think it's possible? I want you guys to comment. The ones who are viewing this video at some point, I want you to comment on the bottom and specifically let me know, because this is something very odd to me. I want you to specifically let me know if you think that UFOs have the capacity to pull this off, and that aliens from another world are eyeballing Earth as a possible destination for themselves. And they got to get rid of the humans so that they can inhabit it. This is a possibility. I'm not taking anything off the table. I'm not saying I think this is true. I'm just saying I want you to tell me in the comments, hey man, you're nuts about the UFO thing, or I think that that's possible, or anything's possible. Right now, the world, again, is upside down. It's literally on lockdown. They locked down 1.3 billion people in India today. It started today, and all hell is breaking loose in that country. And they have just a tenth of a less population than China does. So they're literally right there, neck and neck, and now they shut their country down. That's 1/5 of the world's population in one country. All right. So let's get off of this trending tab and let's get on to the next one. Biowarfare under the guise of wildlife. Okay. And I also put the little China symbol underneath there, because I don't know, since it started and originated in China, if that's indeed the case. Now, here's a possibility. Did China release coronavirus into their own society, knowing that it was going to spread around the entire world? Okay? To possibly throw a wreckage into other economies, meaning ruining other economies like the United States economy, or the Russian economy, or the Australian economy, or the German economy, or the UK economy. Are they trying to literally organically put these nasty viruses out there to take over the world with their economy and their country and become the supreme while everyone else is on crutches? And you have to understand one more thing about this theory. China is not reporting any more cases. Wuhan has had like 5 or 6 days of not reporting any more cases. They went into their little lockdown period of 2 months, And they emerged out of this thing with no new cases in Wuhan, where it originally started. Now, if that doesn't have a big question mark over it, while the rest of the country is like literally freaking out, Italy got blown up practically. Spain is getting blown up. France is getting blown up. United States is starting to get blown up with this stuff. It's just spreading like mushrooms everywhere. Is there somewhere in China and some stealthy group that's laughing right now about all this, saying this is biowarfare, but you guys don't know about it? We're just going to say that it was part of our animal market, and we're just going to say it was some bats, and everybody in the world's going to buy it and believe it. The number 5 biowarfare under the guise of wildlife is probably the most intriguing of the ones I've just mentioned so far. For me, at least, it is. Is this biowarfare? And is this the first, just like the aliens would possibly do, of several viruses that are going to be put into the world via China or an Asian country? I don't want to throw China constantly under the bus. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I don't want to do that. It could be that China doesn't even know that some stealthy cell inside their country is propagating this. And they don't even know as a government that this is occurring, that this is going on, that someone is unleashing a war with biological substances such as viruses in order to cripple other economies around the world, because they're just dark and they're evil, and they're trying to get the world to just completely get ruined, basically, or be set on fire. All right, so that one is a bit intriguing. I got some stuff in here that is asking, could the coronavirus be a planned attack? China putting out disinformation campaigns or propaganda, trying to put out like a fake news sort of thing. Some of this stuff, where the coronavirus bioweapon conspiracy theories really come from. Bioweapon conspiracy theory is what we're talking about. And also misinformation by the Chinese to try to misinform people about the origination of the actual psycho coronavirus. Okay? This is so crazy. Is this possible? Yes. And I hope that it's not, for the sake of humanity, because I don't hope that there is some subsequent viruses that they're going to do out here in the next coming weeks or months that's going to absolutely cripple the world even more beyond this coronavirus. And I'm praying to God that that does not happen, that this is a one-time, one-off thing, and that we can all get through this somehow as a world, and that there's nothing more dark beyond or behind that dark curtain of coronavirus. If there's something behind the dark coronavirus curtain, we're all in huge trouble. And you guys that are watching this right now know that that's true. So I'm just throwing this out there because I'm not freaked out. I'm actually getting sleep at night, but I know there's a lot of people freaked out. There's business owners that are freaked out. There's people that are committing suicide over this type of stuff. Trump is trying to get the United States back on track by Easter, which is like mid-April, I think. Okay? A lot of people are saying don't do it. It's just going to create more infections throughout the United States. So there's a tug back there, back and forth. Yes, put them on track. Get the businesses back up and running again. Get people working again. And then the other ones are saying don't do it. Lock yourself down and don't spread the virus around anymore. And we can try to get through this. It's such a crazy time in the world right now. All right, so let's get rid of that one, but that's definitely a crazy one. And let's take a look at the last one. Russia furthering their meddling agenda to cripple the world out of resentment due to sanctions. Russia pointing the finger at Russia and saying they're trying to do what I said China was trying to do. And they're resentful towards the world because the world has put a lot of sanctions on Russia. If you remember, there was a whole Ukraine, Crimea, or whatever it was, when Obama was back in, the administration was back, and there was a whole thing where they were trying to take over Ukraine, and it was just a big, and people thereafter, in the United States thereafter, put sanctions upon Russia thereafter because They didn't want Russia, trying to create another country for themselves or trying to take over another country. So that whole thing. And there's also a United States trying to block them from a big oil pipeline right now. You can read about that, or a natural gas pipeline or something like that that's hooked up to Germany. And the United States is trying to stop that from occurring. Is Russia pissed off? Is Russia mad? And is Russia the stealthy actor here trying to unleash hell on the world, and for them to be the supreme and dominant country after the whole world just becomes crippled from virus, or viruses plural? And we don't want to talk about plural because we know that if they did this, or China did this, there could be a subsequent domino or dominoes thereafter, like multiple viruses, and unleashed in a fashion that completely cripples economies, puts people out of work, all kinds of crazy stuff. So I wanted to get this video out there. It's just wild, man. I hope that everybody is trying to get through this and not freak out. I want you guys to not completely flip out. I will tell you this: if you're stuck in your house and it's like a little jail to you, just try to do some exercise. And I know that sounds kind of stupid, but if you have a treadmill, walk on it. If you have nothing, just, doing sit-ups or push-ups, or even jogging in place, or like jump rope. These kind of like activity things can reduce your stress level without having to use like medications and stuff, or alcohol or drugs. So, try to work out, try to get some exercise, try not to freak out, try to lower your stress level. And I just want you guys to all know that I'm thinking about you guys, and this is episode 3. I will probably try to put another episode out maybe in the coming days on a 4th about, I want you guys to subscribe too, because I'm going to be putting more stuff out in the future. But my next episode 4, this is episode 3, is going to be the question: did the scientific community, the medical scientific community of the world, did it drop the ball here? And did it let all of us down in the world? Okay? And I'll give you that. It's a little food for thought, because when you subscribe, you're going to get that video, and that's going to be a video just like this one, but there's a different twist on it, and it's going to go in a different direction. So subscribe to it, and hit the notification bell. And I will definitely see you guys in the next video. Take care and stay healthy, and God bless you.